This is CBC Winnipeg News.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us. The parents of a child bitten by a Winnipeg police dog are demanding an independent investigation. Despite widespread community calls for a probe into how this could have happened, it's not clear it will ever happen. CBC's Andrew Wilds reports.
He's excited about school, and he doesn't like school.
Emil Loba says on the morning of the incident, he dropped his son at school happy and whole. By lunch, the boy was in hospital, badly injured by a police dog. These parents want an independent investigation of what happened.
You don't just downplay things. We're talking about a 5-year-old, a toddler. He was in a safe spot, a safe place in his school.
Why are school administrators allowing police to bring canines into their classrooms?
Christopher Schneider, a professor of sociology at Brandon University, supports the call for an independent investigation and says the practice of bringing police dogs into schools should be re-evaluated.
The evidence is there that the dogs are volatile. They have bitten people. They have bitten other students in other classrooms, including in Canada. Why is this practice continue?
The Lobas say no one told them a police dog would visit the school. Schneider says if visits like these are to continue, schools should get the informed consent of parents.
The parents should be made aware of the risks of these dogs and that they do bite. They are volatile. The dogs make behavioral mistakes and they bite innocent people.
When a dog bites someone, the City of Winnipeg's Animal Services usually gets involved and investigates the animal's temperament. But that did not happen in this case. That's because the city's bylaw doesn't apply to police dogs. On Monday, the family launched a petition calling for the Independent Investigations Unit to reconsider looking into the incident after it said the case did not fit its mandate. More than 2,500 people have signed up. But Saul Simmons, a Winnipeg criminal lawyer, says despite the public being interested, the IIU's decision is correct.
Public interest, while it does create a wider evaluation process and a wider base of evaluation, does not mean that every single time there's something that people think is worthy of looking at that requires the IIU to investigate.
Simon says in this case, a civil suit may be more fitting.
The IIU's process is to investigate to determine whether there's an issue of criminality. And there's nothing that you have indicated to me that raises the specter of criminality.
The Winnipeg Police Service is still investigating, but did not say when that investigation will be finished or what will be shared with the public. A spokesperson for the Minister of Justice, who is responsible for ensuring adequate and effective policing in the province, would not answer a question as to whether he would consider commissioning an independent investigation. Andrew Wilds, CBC News, Winnipeg.
An early morning fire closed off a stretch of Selkirk Avenue at Arlington today. A vacant home was found engulfed in flames at about 4 o'clock this morning. Hours later, smoke was still rising from that gutted home. Winnipeg fire paramedics said the home was too dangerous to enter and that it would have to be demolished to fully extinguish the fire. They also had to contend with frigid temperatures this morning.
Cold weather affects the equipment. Obviously, the humidity in the air affects our equipment. The slippery, a lot of falls, slips and falls. The roads are slippery when we're attending to calls. People have their mind on holiday things too, so we're dealing with that.
The cause of the fire is still under investigation. No injuries have been reported. A new brewery in the heart of Brandon is highlighting the history of the Wheat City one brick at a time. Section 6 Brewing has reclaimed some 11,000 bricks from Brandon's former International Harvester building. Chelsea Kemp has the story.
Brandon's recently opened Section 6 Brewing is mixing history with modern-day architecture. The taproom's exterior walls and even the bar are constructed from bricks recovered from the International Harvester building, which was torn down in 2021. It also used restored barnwood for its building.
It was important to us to make the most of what was available to us, and we love the idea that there's a lot of new pieces to here, but there's a lot of tradition and old parts to here. And
Section 6 is putting extra bricks left over from the build to good use, allowing patrons to get hands-on with the history of the building.
We've taken something old, we've used old things to help us do the building up, and I believe it was 11,000 bricks that were reclaimed, all had to be cleaned and chipped down and provided to Stiles Masonry so that they could rebuild it as well as our bar.
The reused bricks helped with construction costs, while keeping the memory of the iconic International Harvester building alive.
How do we remember our past, but at the same time embrace the present and look forward to the future? But I think something like those bricks are a concrete reminder and kind of prompt a bit of interest in thinking about the past.
The name of the brewery honors Brandon's rural roots. The term section refers to how agricultural land is divvied up in Manitoba. Section 6 also draws from the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms and the idea that Canadians always have the right to return home. Chelsea Kemp, CBC News, Brandon.
Neither bombs nor blackouts nor families fleeing war can stop hockey. That's the unofficial motto of a group called Canadian Friends of Hockey in Ukraine. It's a group that is collecting donations of hockey gear and using it to outfit players in Ukraine and newcomers to Canada. Karen Pauls brings us the story.
Hello guys, I would like to thank the all Canadian Friends of Ukrainian Hockey. Thanks for your care, guys. Thanks the all stuff you're doing for us last already 5-6 years. For all this stuff that you bring here for the kids, as you can see, they're all excited, and parents especially, for that kind of time of our life and situation in Ukraine. So again, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
It's like a Santa came, you know, with it's already winter and snowing here in Kiev, and you know, this Christmas time is coming, New Year is coming. It was really like a present from Santa, and it looked like that. Let me see, let me touch. I like this one. Maybe at first sight, simple things like kids sport, but it's also kids, and they now understand and they see on their own eyes that the whole world support them. We really have to think twice or 3 times where to spend money, and sometimes you need to say no for some kids' wishes, but it's the last thing that you want to do. They can proceed with their things that they are used to do before the war, to make sport, or I don't know, to make music for those who are doing music, to dance, and so on and so on. So their lives do not need to be stopped.
Even in a peaceful time, you know, when you are busy with something, this is the way to deal with stress. It's extremely important, and particularly that you know, we want our kids to remain in Ukraine, although it's certainly dangerous. But those who cannot go abroad and who want to play hockey, we need to support them. Rinks do operate because it's, thanks God, not all the time we are short of power. But indeed today it's been a very difficult day. We actually had a missile flying over our house, but you know, we are holding on. It's just sort of, you know, our motto now in the country is that we are holding on because we are Ukrainians. We have, it's our country and our faith, and so we will not give up. We will not give up. neither in the sport nor in our sport.
That's a nice story. Well, New Year's is coming up this weekend, and if you're looking for a safe ride home, Operation Red Nose has volunteers ready to drive you and your vehicle home this New Year's for the first time since 2019. On New Year's Eve, they will be taking calls from 9 p.m. till 3 a.m. Shara Hinton is the coordinator for Operation Red Nose in Winnipeg. She says everyone is excited to be back.
Anybody who has contacted us and asked for a ride home, we've gotten them home safe and sound.
They are still looking for volunteers this weekend as well. If you do need a ride, they recommend calling 45 minutes before you're ready to go. Drivers will be taking people and vehicles home in Winnipeg, Brandon, and 7 other communities across Manitoba. And Winnipeg Transit will once again be waiving fares on New Year's Eve for all regular and Transit Plus services beginning at 7 p.m. tomorrow. That will continue past midnight until the end of service. The last bus is leaving downtown at about 1:35 in the morning. In Brandon, Transit is also freed. Buses there run until 3 o'clock in the morning. So let's have a look at that New Year's forecast. It was nice to see the sunshine in Winnipeg, at least, and across much of southern Manitoba. Let's have a look at your satellite and radar. And as you can see, still contending with fairly clear skies across Manitoba this evening. We are starting to see a little bit of cloud cover begin to move in. Looking at Futurecast, you can see that cloud cover will move in as we get into the evening tonight. Saturday, your New Year's Eve, starting with a mainly cloudy sky, not a lot of sunshine to be seen across the province tomorrow. And into the evening, more cloud cover, chance of a flurry. Look at 12 o'clock in the morning on New Year's Day, starting with cloud cover, and really it's just another cloudy day into Sunday. Could see some sunny breaks in the afternoon. Right now in Winnipeg, -11 under a mainly clear sky. Our pressure is falling at the moment across much of the province. Still some minus single digits in the extreme southern part of Manitoba. Melita at -8, -11 in Brandon and Winnipeg, -18 in Thompson. Tonight in southern Manitoba, we're looking at temperatures in the minus teens, -10 in Morden. Mainly cloudy skies tonight, -21 in Flin Flon tonight, -23 in Thompson. Could see a scattered flurry in northern Manitoba. -15 in Thompson tomorrow, -14 in Flin Flon. Into southern Manitoba, above seasonal for this time of the year, minus single digits, -8s, -9 in Brandon, -6 into the southeast corner of the province. I'll have your New Year's and 7-day forecasts coming up.
The weather update is brought to you by Home Equip, your trusted local source for Pride Mobility scooters. From sales to rental and repair, our team is here to serve you.
It's been 6 years since the University of Winnipeg has hosted the Westman Classic featuring men's basketball. The annual event returned Wednesday after the pandemic forced it to be canceled. But for the first 50 years, the Classic was all about men's hoops. Westman Athletics Director David Crook said over the past couple of days, several people have been catching up in conversation during the action.
It's an opportunity for people who are back in the city, who aren't usually here, who aren't around university sport, to come back and to watch it and to connect with people and just to connect with the game. And it's just such a tradition in this community.
The Westmen are playing the #2 Ottawa GGs in tonight's final at 8 p.m. Central Time at the Duckworth Centre. The Brandon Bobcats are in the third-place game against Regina at 6. Don't forget to subscribe to our CBC Manitoba YouTube channel. If you miss a newscast or want to see a story or something that you missed, you can watch it whenever is good for you. We'll have more news coming up after the break. You're watching CBC Winnipeg News. Blood donations can drop as people take a break during the holidays, but the need continues for both humans and for dogs. CBC's Emily Brass paid a visit to the Canadian Animal Blood Bank to meet some canine blood donors.
This is Nova.
Oh, good girl.
The 7-year-old husky mix is getting ready to do her duty, giving blood. Nova is extra special because of her canine blood type. A bit like a human who's O positive, Nova is a universal blood donor. Every 3 months, her mom brings Nova to the Canadian Animal Blood Bank, along with Liberty, her sister from another mister.
It's a very short period of time that you have to give up, and it's so important because there's so many animals out there, or so many dogs that need blood.
The blood goes to animal hospitals and veterinary clinics across Canada, helping dogs with everything from chemotherapy to recovering from surgeries after an accident. The group says every donation can help save the lives of 3 dogs.
The blood bank is always looking for new dogs to donate, but it says it takes a special kind of canine to be a doggy blood donor.
Basically, they have to be at least 25 kilos. They have to be up to date on their vaccines.
1, 2, 3.
They also have to be calm and good-natured.
We just take things slow, nice and relaxed. Don't try to push them. We talk to them when they're on the table.
Good girl.
The clinic is in the basement at Red River College. Student Rebecca Maynard is a regular volunteer.
When you're stressed about school, it's nice because you can come and get your cuddles in, but it also really helps build your skills for the future.
The blood bank says demand from vet clinics really picks up around the holidays.
Orders are coming in the last few days saying, we need more.
The national nonprofit started in Winnipeg 26 years ago. Before that, vets had to buy blood from commercial suppliers in the States or use their own pets as donors.
Unlike human donors, who once you sign up, you can donate 10, 20, 30, 40 years, our donors can only donate for about 9. And that's catching them as soon as they turn 1. So if you've got a dog, do sign up.
You can find the Canadian Animal Blood Bank on Facebook. Emily Brass, CBC News, Winnipeg.
Governor General Mary Simon has released her New Year's message to Canadians. In her address, she talks about some of the challenges the country faced in 2022, from climate disasters to the trauma of unmarked graves at the sites of former residential schools. But she ended her message on an optimistic note.
We can build a more inclusive country. We can talk to each other to better understand each other and respect our different views. We can improve the lives of others by being generous, innovative, thoughtful, and courteous. We can renew our relationship with Indigenous peoples and with the land. As this year ends, I encourage you to reach out to our friends and neighbors, to tell our own stories, dreams, and plans for our future, full of hope, full of light.
You can watch the Governor General's full message online at cbcnews.ca. Well, what's in a name? A lot, if that name is champagne. The region in northeastern France has been synonymous with the bubbly wine it produces for centuries. But it's looking over its shoulder now at competition. And at the bottom of the story is climate change. Katie Nicholson reports.
It's the New Year's top tipple, bottles of bubbly. Some of the most popular brands from France's Champagne region. But increasingly from, Sussex?
From Sussex, yeah.
English sparkling wine is coming into its own.
In the UK, champagne is still king, selling 5 bottles to every 1 bottle of English sparkling. But analysts say that the volume of English sparkling increased by more than 1/3 last year, and it's expected to keep growing, a side effect of climate change.
The temperatures in the last 20 years have gone up by about 1 degree in southeast of England, and they will probably go up by several degrees by 2070.
Ideal conditions for growing the grapes used in champagne-style sparkling wines. So much so that in 2015, champagne house Taittinger invested in 69 hectares of land in Kent, southeast of London.
Don't get us wrong, climate change is bad for food production in the UK and in most of the world.
But researchers believe climate change may also lead to premium quality English wines that mimic other classic French wines by 2050.
We think that it will be possible to produce good and excellent Chardonnay still wine, not just good enough, but actually very good.
This time of year, though, the focus is on all things sparkling. And this wine merchant says English bubbly is holding its own.
The fact that it's produced here There's a lot of pride when we speak to English people, they just want to drink the fizz from their countries.
Good enough that the government gave it geographically protected status, much like Scotch whiskey and French champagne.
You're starting there and going all the way around.
So what do the French make of this pretender to champagne's throne?
Last time I had a New Year in France, I brought English sparkling, just to share with the friends, and they liked it.
And while many of his customers may pop a bottle of English sparkling for New Year's, he's sticking to the classics.
Probably French.
But in a few years, who knows? Katie Nicholson, CBC News, London.
Well, if you're lining up to buy a bottle of bubbly for the weekend, you might want to dress up tonight, but things are looking a bit warmer. I will have your New Year's forecast and the 7-day forecast just ahead. Stay with us. All right, let's take a look at that New Year's forecast as we ring in 2023. If you're heading out tomorrow night, expect it to be around -7, around 9-10 in the evening, and a high of -8 on the way for New Year's Day on Sunday. So we're looking at a cloudy weekend, -8s for both Saturday and Sunday. That is above normal for this time of the year. And then things cool off as we get into next week. Sun and cloud for the entire week. Not a lot of snow in the forecast either. -11s for Monday and Tuesday. -16 on Wednesday, and then warming up slightly as we get toward the end of next week. Well, we have been celebrating the season with poetry here on CBC Manitoba. Last week we heard a new piece of work called Christmas in 2 parts by Winnipeg's outgoing Poet Laureate Duncan Mercredi. And tonight we have the city's new Poet Laureate with her poem about greeting the new year. Here's Chimwewa Unde reading Obed and a Happy New Year.
Patchworks of orange windows on strange and distant rooms. Bright, silent invitations to imagine other lives. Our 2 short days are lengthening, so we move a little longer in the cold. What else is there to do? Just move, just sing, and say just where the shadow fell. And remember what we failed to say. Crowd the kitchen with your bodies, and let the old year slow to its named end become a new thing to hold up to the light. Our footprints dark in purple snow are surer remembered than our bodies were, carrying from one end to this end, new year, old me. Soon the city will crowd with voices as verdant as the morning, renewed by a midnight, glittering like a star to wish upon, for dawn, as the form would dictate, for a sun, for the sureness of its rising, for what we set aflame to warm us, for what we burn to light the way.
Some great words as we head into the new year. That is our show for tonight, our final program for 2022. Thank you for spending some time with us tonight and this entire year. Have a happy new year. If you're going out this weekend, be safe, have fun, and we'll see you in 2023. Have a great weekend.